Hey everyone, this is episode 4 of Aches and Gainz with Doc and Donnie. I am Dr. Hayes Estes. Hey Donnie!
Yo.
What's up, man?
Hey, man. I love today's topic. I really do. I know we can't get into it as yet, but I really do. I love today's topic because everybody talks about it, but nobody actually does it. So I really do want to get into this. So let's get in to first. So first of all, hey, what do you know? This is our 4th episode of this stuff. We hope you're enjoying it. Yeah, did we count right? There we go.
I don't know.
Carry the one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're at 4.
Yeah,
all right, cool. I hope you guys are enjoying it. We're having a great time behind the camera here, to be very honest with you. We really enjoy this stuff. You know, our ability to banter back and forth while still giving out what we feel is valuable information while keeping you watching is what we're shooting for. So, you know, I'll say this now, and then we'll get into it. Let us know how we're doing in the comments. Really, let us know. Be brutal. The internet is known for being ever so kind.
Yes.
So continue to be ever so kind and tell us what's going on.
It's been a while since I've cried, to be honest with you. So I'm gonna breathe. I bring it. I appreciate it, and I definitely won't use my wife's legal duties to hunt you down.
Yeah.
So all right, cool.
It's been a while since I've cried too, and by a while I mean by 2 o'clock today. So yeah.
Well, that's because you stuck your finger in the electrical socket like a moron. I told you that that's not how you test whether an electrical socket works. They have things called plugs. It's weird. You'll figure it out.
Don't judge us on that one.
I know.
That was a miss.
Yeah. So, listen, I'm honing my skills here. I'm honing my skills.
Okay.
Donnie,
All right.
Donnie, what's your favorite movie?
Whoa, that's easy. Super Troopers.
Wrong. Just kidding.
I don't know what to say to that.
No.
Beats Bears, Battlestar Galactica.
Super Troopers. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Classic. Classic. Underrated.
You boys like Mexico?
Yes. I didn't ask you to recreate it right now. I just asked you what's the break it down for me, Donnie. Why should I, not me personally because I have it, you know, ingrained in my mind. Why should our lovely viewers go out there and watch Super Troopers? What does it mean to you?
Well, if you are as intelligent and as handsome and as well spoken and structured as I am, every once in a while you need a break and just to go to something that is just insanely incoherent, yet will make you laugh and you'll question why you spent the entire movie laughing. And that's Super Troopers in a nutshell right there. So that's what when you're just so intelligent, having dumb stuff every now and then just makes you feel just normal again.
Agreed.
Did I tell you that I'm humble as well?
Sometimes
The best at being humble.
Sometimes I need a break from reality. Super Troopers definitely provides that break from reality, and it's just chock full of one-liners, and it just
there it is.
Sometimes when we have nothing else to talk about, we could just go on a Super Trooper.
I'm going to go ahead and guess to answer the question for you. Gone with the Wind.
Have you been going into my DMs recently? I don't understand.
Yes. Oh, you mean that way? Oh.
No, Donnie. Gone to the Wind is not my favorite movie. It's my second favorite movie. Although it's been canceled, so I can't watch it anymore. My favorite movie is Varsity Blues.
That's because you love your Vanderbilt, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Listen, we are going to talk about coaching later today, and really, there was no better coach. No, not Bud Kilmer. That guy was a maniac. I'm talking about Lance Harbor. Lance Harbor was the best in-game coach, making adjustments, better than Bill Belichick. Rest in peace, sir. And really, you can't really beat the man. He ran the 4-0 show. The University of Nevada ran up the scores on people. I could keep going, but really, Lance Harbor is the best coach out there, and you cannot argue me otherwise. So, prove me wrong.
I will not, sir.
Thank you very much. So, with that said, we're talking about coaches. We're talking about not Bud Kilmer coaches. We're talking about good coaches.
Good coaches, yeah.
So Donnie,
ones that don't want to kill their athletes, yeah.
Donnie, you've been doing what you do for a while.
Yep.
Some people will call you a good coach. To be determined.
Yeah, I've paid those people. Yeah.
Thanks, Mom.
Yeah.
What, in your opinion, what makes a good coach?
So I'm going to go on from a aspect that I can relate to immediately, and that's for strength athlete coaches. That's what I enjoy doing. Now I coach other athletes in different sports, but as far as in my realm, for me, a good coach is someone who gets to know the individual, the lifter, has their best interest in mind, and usually, from what I found, that's not exactly what they always want. And is willing, is humble to take the defeats, and also give the credit to the person doing the work and not you. So those are 4 points that I would sit there and say are some of the better aspects of a coach. The programming when you're working with this and positioning of athletes, if we're doing like football play, that stuff is a little it's not reinventing or inventing brand new stuff. A lot of the stuff has already been done. All the science put into this stuff, you're applying science and stuff to stuff that's already been around for years. These methods and stuff. How you excel as a coach is figuring out which one works well for different athletes and that kind of stuff. But that involves, the first thing is getting to know them, know what makes them tick, know their personality types, know what drives them to do what they're doing. Those are the aspects of a good coach in my end. Now, what I'm hoping to get out of you on this here is what you feel from a academic standpoint, and from actually in the kinesiology part of it, what you feel is a good coach from that end.
So, people who come to see us at the clinic, everyone who comes in there, regardless of age, ability level, we're essentially training. Are we training to the extent that people are training your gym? No, we're not. Eventually some of our athletes are doing deadlifts, some are doing squats, but we also have some 85, 90-year-old patients who are just working on standing on one leg. But the coaching aspect comes in, and it's more about your personality, and it's more about those soft skills. So those soft skills are things that are going to be as important as the book knowledge that doctors of physical therapy may have. And the soft skills is getting to know people. So someone comes into my clinic, the most important thing that I want to get out of the first visit is I want to have them tell their story. I want to understand their story, and I want them, with my guidance, to establish certain goals that they want to achieve and tell me why those goals are important. And that allows me to get an insight into what is important to them and what kind of makes them tick, so to speak. And so, because our goal is to improve quality of life, get people back to doing the things that they want to do. And why you and I have such a great relationship is, especially the lifters that I work with, I then say, hey, listen, you have done a fantastic job here with us. It's now time for you to take your stuff to the next level. Let's go see Donnie. So again, the being a good listener aspect, having those soft skills, that good bedside manner, that to me is first and foremost the number one thing of being a good coach.
Wait, did you say a doctor with good bedside manner?
I did. I know, it's weird.
Stop the press.
I know you can't believe it. I know that I'm breaking ground here. That bedside manner is important, but hey, it is.
So you're saying that by getting a positive rapport with your patient or your client, that you're most likely will get a better result from them because they're going to want to work with you?
Yeah.
I don't understand.
I know. It's strange. And when your mommy always said, hey, if you don't have something nice to say, don't say anything. And it's kind of like that. It's kind of like that. You get on people's good sides, and they tend to trust you. And honestly, that's half the battle.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. So beyond the soft skills, we do want to. I want to encourage independence. So people come to me, and they probably they're not at the level that they once were. And so my goal is to get them back there. They're usually there because of pain, because of weakness, something along those lines. And so along with my staff, our goal is to show them and to take them through a series of eventual progressions to get them to being independent. And I want my patients or my athletes to be an active participant in their plan of care when they come into the clinic. And I'm sure that you obviously want the same. So, I mean, are you a fan of somebody who comes in here and says, hey, tell me what to do?
No. And if you notice in my name, the bottom line there is institute. And I did that for a reason, not just to have a catchy phrase and try to, make something. I teach. That's my goal here. I don't teach on an academia level on this, but I teach on a practical level of giving, once again, independence to them. So at some point, they're going to be able to go on their own and be able to be successful. Now, if they choose to retain me to continue learning, fantastic. I love it. My accountant loves it. Everybody loves it. The IRS loves it. But I want to give them the tools to be successful on their own instead of floundering around in a gym looking at the biggest guy they can find who's probably doing it wrong too, and then emulating them, ending up back in your place. And it's a vicious cycle, as Fat Bastard once said. So, yeah, that's exactly what that's a direct quote, so I could say that. I'm referencing there. It's scientific.
It's all right. You already said shit in other episodes.
Oh, so it's fine. There we go. Good. But yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what he wants. Stan Efferding, who is a guy that I follow, I've taken his certifications, and he's once was touted as the world's strongest bodybuilder and is now nutritionalist to some of the top world's strongest men in the world. It's very simple how he describes it. The science is in compliance. You can have the greatest plan, but if the athlete or the patient does not want to comply to what you've put out there, it is just words on a computer screen or a piece of paper or electrons floating around in your brain. It means nothing at that point.
How much is programming important in being a good coach? How important? I can't talk right now. I promise I'm a doctor. How important?
We got to bring in your degrees and put it back here just so you know.
Hang them up on the wall. Yeah. How important is programming in being a good coach? What's the relationship?
Okay, so it's part of it, for sure. And that comes with experience knowing someone. However, you can Google. I'm going to tell you right now, and this is against my business model here, but you can Google and find yourself a program out there. And it'll be successful if you follow it. Simple as that. Now, depending on where you're at in your progression in your lifting career or whatever you're doing in your sport, the more you get in depth, the more precise programming is needed. But the reality of it is, if you follow a program, you're going to be successful. So no, it's not the most important thing. It's getting to know which your client needs, which program it needs. And unfortunately, I see this in the industry that I'm in. Copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. Every client gets the same program, and they pay, unfortunately, too much for that. But what you need and what I need and what everybody else needs is completely different. And if you don't know the individual, you're going to give them something that gives them 40% effectiveness for what they need versus being able to tweak going, okay, this person's lower back is not as strong as it should be, so we're going to do different exercises. Okay, this one has a strong hips, but their chest is lacking in upper body development. Okay, like I see a lot in women, stronger hips, lacking upper body. So if I give you the same program that I give a female, it's just not going to be successful. So yes, the programming is not the paramount. I know I'm long-winded there, but I really want to make sure that people understand that programming as a coach should be third or fourth priority. Get to know your lifter, get to know your athlete, get to know who they are, understand how they work, understand limitations they've had from previous injuries in sports. That's the important part.
And I think you said it in not as an articulate manner as I'm sure you would have liked, but we're going to keep this version for the podcast just so you can look like an idiot. So what you're talking about is the ability to properly progress and regress patients and modifying the program.
For sure.
So the programming itself is probably the easiest part.
For sure.
It's not that it's not important, but it's probably the easiest part. But being able to modify it and appropriately progress and regress based off of patients' goals, patients' abilities is going to be more important. So the thing that I see, a lot of people come to us and they've been through physical therapy before, and they've had 100 different things that they've done. They've been 10 different rounds, whatever. Haven't really made the progress that they should have made. What happens is that they are put in, it's a square peg trying to be put in a round hole because whoever they had before just try to keep, oh, well, I know that your hips are weak, so we just got to keep doing just clamshells all day long. Maybe we'll do some lateral band walks. They'll just keep doing, we just got to keep your hips strong, hips strong, hips strong. Well, maybe the problem wasn't the hips at all. Maybe it was something else. And, maybe they were lacking mobility. And so the program needs to be modified. You need to be able to regress. If someone cannot adequately do a certain type of exercise is on a spectrum. So there are various types of squats that you can do, various types of deadlifts that you can do. There are various types of hip external rotation strengthening exercises that you can do. And the clamshell, while albeit a simple exercise, may not be the appropriate exercise for someone. You may need to go to an even easier exercise than that. And what I see is that trainers, coaches, physical therapists, they'll just try to keep hammering that same exercise. And definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. And I see that all the time where people don't take a second to look at the big picture and say, all right, this obviously isn't working. We need to adjust. And for that reason, that's why in our clinic, regardless of who you are, we have a set time period in which we do a reassessment, where we reassess. We have objective measures day 1, and then we redo those objective measures approximately day 30, and we say, all right, this gives us some objective determination as to are we making some progress.
So, absolutely.
Yeah.
And finally, one thing I want to add to it is the ability of the coach to check the ego and understand the client or the athlete is the overall goal here. So I've had several clients, maybe not several, a few clients that I've been ran into a wall with that I've said, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to look at a third party, and I have a trusted person that I feel is good in this aspect of it, in this aspect. We're going to bring them in. They're going to evaluate you from an outside perspective. Maybe I'm missing something here. And that right there is key to being able to, because you have to understand, it's not about them paying you every month. It's not about them, they're not your possession. Your goal is to progress them. And if you're progressing them, requires extra eyes on or extra evaluations, it has to happen. That's the only way to ethically coach your client or your athlete.
I completely agree. I have the utmost respect for a clinician who acknowledges that they have not made progress with something. And I've done it too, where I bring in other clinicians, other eyes to say, listen, I have something's going on with this patient where we have not made the progress we should have made. I'm doing the heavy evidence-based exercises, the treatment, the interventions that the evidence has suggested. We're not making the progress. Maybe I need another set of eyes. And I have more respect for that person admitting that, hey, I've done everything I could. I need some help here, than someone who, again, just tries to keep pounding that square peg into that round hole because you're not. The only thing, maybe in the short term you're making more money, you're putting some more money in your pocket, but in the long term you're ruining your relationship with that person and you're ruining your reputation as an effective clinician. As effective clinician someone can trust.
Yep.
And that's what, kind of bringing full circle here. We start with trust, we end with trust. And it's all about building trust with someone, and that's where you're going to get the best outcomes, whether it's in my clinic, whether it's in your gym. You're going to get the best outcomes because people trust you.
I trust you. Made him cry. Boom.
I told you.
17 minutes later, boom. Got it.
I want to make it one more time.
Yep. Cut, print, we're out.
I just want to make it one episode without crying. I don't understand you.
Bro science.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Are we back?
Yeah, I don't know. Are we?
Bro science.
Oh, bro science. It's our favorite. It's our favorite time of the show. We are either going to dispel bro science myths or we're going to talk about pet peeves. We have decided to dispel bro science myths today. So yes. Donnie.
So what happens was every time I get a female that comes in, they come in looking small, and then after about 2.5 weeks of lifting with me, they're stepping on a bodybuilding stage with other men. And I don't know what's going on. It seems like it's the only time. I'm just kidding. No, that's not the case. You lack basic building blocks as a female,
Donnie,
become giant unless you supplement. Please. The body, I'm stopping you. The body you're looking for, ladies, is built by resistance training. I promise you that. The treadmill is only a small tool in the whole thing. As a cardiovascular, you don't need it. Stop running all the time. Lift a weight.
So what Donnie skipped over was...
Did we miss the point? Did I miss the point? Man!
No, it's fine. It's fine. I appreciate the enthusiasm. What Donnie skipped over was there's a myth. I know you're fired up, big guy. You're fired up. It's okay. There's the myth out there that women will get big and bulky if they lift weights, especially heavy weights. Donnie...
Please don't unleash me again.
Is that the case?
Well, the science shows no.
Okay, you're right.
It can't happen.
Case closed.
Let's talk about the basics of it. The testosterone.
Let's talk about the basics.
Yeah, why
of it,
not?
please.
We got forever to talk. Everybody just sitting around have nothing to do but listen to us yabber on about this stuff. So. Yeah, come on. You talk about it.
Okay, all right.
You talk about it.
I guess you're done talking.
Are you educated enough to talk about
this?
I'm
going to talk about it.
Oh, all right. Okay, I'll talk now.
No, please stop. No. You're done. We're cutting you off. Lock it up.
Son of a.
Lock it up.
Lock it up.
You lock it up. You lock it up.
Oh, he's looking at me.
Okay, boys.
Okay.
All right. Okay, we've been told.
Women do not produce the same amount of testosterone as men do, unless you supplement. I'm using air quotes for our listeners. Supplements. You are not going to get big and bulky by lifting weights. Will you have some muscle definition? Oh, heaven forbid. Maybe you will. But that's the point of lifting weights, is to get stronger and maybe look a little different. But the amount of testosterone that women produce is somewhere in the ballpark of half to 20% of what men produce. So testosterone is what is going to lead to muscle hypertrophy and strength, in addition to growth hormone. You don't produce that like men do, you will not get big and bulky like men do. Okay?
Unless you really, 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 really want to. And it's going to take a lot of effort, and you're going to have to do it on purpose. I promise you, stepping under a squat bar is not going to turn you into a man.
Yes.
I promise you that. You can quote me on that one. I'll say that very often.
Yeah. So no, ladies, you will not get big and bulky. And honestly, even if you do, I don't know. I think guys like a little more definition than the other end.
And I'll tell you this. The body, like I said, when in my beginning of my rant here, the body you're looking for.
And ladies too. Sorry, I didn't mean to discriminate. Anybody's attracted to women.
That's right.
It's fine.
The body you're looking for.
Don't get us canceled on episode 4, Hayes.
I know. Gosh. God, I'll be writing everywhere. Anyway, the body you're looking for, the Instagram stuff that you see everybody looking at, that is not built by cardiovascular only training. That is built by lifting weights, by eating correctly, and having a fully encompassed exercise regimen. And it includes your heavy compound liftings. I'm sorry, this is what it is. It includes. You have to do it. The butt is not built by doing constant kickbacks, like you said. The butt is built by heavy compound lifting with accessorized individual lifts of glute stuff, that kind of stuff. So please, ladies, we are imploring you, not for any sexual purposes, just for your health and fitness and your sanity. Lift some weights.
You have talked about sex a lot on this podcast.
That's the first time.
Well, you mentioned child people.
Oh, we're going to go back to that. I thought we bleeped that out.
I think we'll edit it out.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go, and this episode was brought to you by TheraBand, Elastic Bands, and the Smith Machine, and your glute exercises. Anyway, Donnie, anything else? We done? I think we're done. Let's wrap this up.
I want to just say, I'm going to do a shameless plug here. It doesn't matter where you're at in the world of the country. I work with athletes all over the country. If you're working with a coach and you just want a second opinion, or you're looking for someone to work with, I'll be glad to sit down and talk with you on a Skype, or if you're local to Tampa Bay area, I'll meet with you. I'd love to see what your goals are. See if we get. I'm not for everyone, and I will be the first to tell you that. So I want to come and see what you need, and if you want to contact me, message me at Facebook.com/Donnie Kiernan or Instagram.com/ Donnie Kiernan, or Strength and Performance Institute on Facebook. That's how you can message me, and I'd love to talk with you. And no pressure. If it's not for you, or if you're not for me, that's fine. I just want to know what your goals are, and let's see if I can help out.
So you're not going to do the?
No, I'm doing it serious this time.
Slash?
Maybe next time.
Okay.
I'm not making it a thing.
Since Donnie just told you where he is on the social media, I'll tell you where I am. Premier Physical Therapy and Sports Performance in Clearwater, Florida. Facebook, just type that in. Instagram, we are at Run Tampa Bay.
I'm starting to like it.
If you like this, like it on the YouTube, share it. Subscribe to us, please. Share it with your friends and your family members. We love doing this. We're having a good time. We're going to keep doing it. And yeah, that's all I got. Peace.
See you back for episode 5. What do we? What's this one? Signs of a good coach. All right, cool. Yeah. I should probably know this one, huh?
I'm doing most of the talking.
Oh boy. Yeah. Can you tell me the signs of a good coach? Yeah. I'm writing them down.
I hope someone's going to find all these B-roll. Whatever. Director floor cuts. All right. God damn it. I do this to myself.